In today's lecture, we're going to be going over two-point perspective. Now, two-point perspective is very similar to one-point perspective. Really, the only difference is that there are two vanishing points on a horizon line, and those vanishing points eventually connect. Now, let me show you what I mean. So the first thing we always want to do when we're drawing perspective is we want to create a horizon line. And so remember, the higher up your horizon line is, the more it's going to look like you're looking down on your objects, and the lower it is, the more it's going to look like you're looking up at your objects. So for this example, we're just going to put it right in the middle, so we're about eye level with our objects. The next thing we want to do is we want to decide where our vanishing points are going to be. So I'm going to put one at both ends of our horizon line, so one there and one there. Generally, you want to keep your vanishing points as far apart as possible on your horizon line. The closer they get, the more distorted your image is going to look. So we're going to put them on the far ends, and now we can go ahead and get started. The first thing you want to do is you want to create a vertical line, and this is going to be the corner of our object. So create one vertical line like so. And then what we want to do is we want to create the first face of our object. So we're going to create the right side face of what's going to be a cube. So all we do is we connect this edge or this end of our vertical line to this vanishing point. So let's go ahead and lightly draw that in. And then we do the same thing for the top. Then we'll go ahead and do the same for our third one. Then we'll go ahead and connect this last one. So rather than looking down at one single vanishing point, now we have two vanishing points on our page. And so this plane vanishes into that point, and this plane vanishes into that point. The next thing we want to do is we want to go ahead and create the other edges of our box. So I'm going to put another vertical line right there, and then I'll put one more right over here on this edge. Next, let's go ahead and draw in our bottom vertical lines and our top ones so they're more solidified. So we'll draw from right there to right there. Do the same thing for up here. All right, so now we have our cube in two-point perspective. So as you can see, like I said, each plane goes off to its own vanishing point. Now let's go ahead and try another type of box. So let's put a box in a different position. So we'll put a box right here. So I'm going to go ahead and draw a vanishing line like so. And then that can be where my vertical line begins. You can start off by drawing the center vertical line, or you can start off by drawing where you want the edges of your box to be. So let's go ahead and draw this vertical line right here. We'll have it covering this one. Then we'll go ahead and draw from that vanishing point to this top edge of the line. And we'll do the same thing for this side. Whoops, that was a little bit off, but it'll be fine. Make sure that you double check and make sure you're on the vanishing point before you draw your line. All right, perfect. So now what we want to do is we want to decide where our edges will be on the other sides. So I'll put one edge right here, and then I'll put another edge right here. Now that we know where those edges are, we can go ahead and create our top surface for our box. So I'm going to come from this vanishing point to this edge of my box. So I'll go ahead and lightly draw that in, like so. And then I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing for the other side. So from this edge right here, I'm going to draw it back to my vanishing point. And then we can go ahead and solidify all these lines and erase anything that we don't want to see. So for example, we don't want to see this line right here, and I drew it in pretty dark, so it's going to be kind of hard to erase. But that's why I always say that you need to draw lightly until you know exactly what you're doing. Then we can go ahead and solidify these lines. So we're going to start with this one right here. And we'll just go all the way around and make sure that all our lines are really dark so we can really see where this box is. Alright, so now we've created a second box that is a little bit lower than this box. So it appears to be a little bit closer to us because it's in front of this one and it's lower from the horizon line. Let's try another one that's higher up. So let's put one up here. So let's go ahead and start by creating our vertical line. Next, let's go ahead and draw our vanishing point lines. So draw from there to there, from this top edge to our vanishing point. And we'll do the same thing on this side. And once you start feeling comfortable, you don't even have to draw all the way back to your vanishing point. You can just draw right along this edge here to about the point where you think you're going to end your box. Next, let's go ahead and draw our other vertical line. So we'll draw one right here. We'll draw a second one right here. And then let's go ahead and draw our second vanishing point lines from this edge corner all the way back to our vanishing point. So we'll draw a line there. And then we'll do the same thing for the other edge. And we want to make sure that they cross right there. That's where we know we can stop. Then let's go ahead and solidify these lines by drawing them in darker. All right, great. Now, one more thing I want to show you is how to connect a box in two-point perspective. So let's say we wanted a smaller box right here that's touching this box or connected to this box. Well, this is how you do it. First, you want to start a vertical line starting on your actual box. So let's go ahead and grab our ruler and draw a vertical line like so. And however tall you want your box, that's how tall this needs to be. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and draw a line from this vanishing point out to that edge, like so, but we don't have to draw all the way across here. We just want to start it right here. So we can go ahead and draw a dark line, like so. Next, what we need to do is we need to draw a line from our vanishing point down to this point right here. So we can go ahead and draw that in. And just eyeballing about where that would be coming straight down from that point. So now we can go ahead and draw in our vertical line from there to there, like so. And then we want to connect this corner back to that vanishing point and this corner back to that vanishing point. So let's go ahead and do that. And then let's go ahead and connect this top one. And again, I'm just eyeballing about where that is coming straight down from there. So then we can go ahead and draw a line coming down like so. And then we want to create that top plane for this box. So let's go ahead and create that. So all we have to do that is draw a line from our vanishing point to that top corner right here. So go ahead and draw that in. And then we have to connect it from this side back to that point also. So go ahead and connect that like so. And now we have a top plane. Now all we have to do is just go ahead and erase away this area of the box that we don't want to see because it's behind it. Unless you had a transparent box, you could leave that there. Alright, that brings us to the end of this lecture. So in this lecture, we learned about two-point perspective and how it works. We learned that you have to have two vanishing points on your horizon line, and those vanishing points have to connect at some point to create your object, such as this cube right here. We also learned that the lower your object is on your page, the more you're going to see the top surface, and the higher it is, the more you're going to see its bottom surface. We also learned how to connect one object to another. And in the next lecture, we're going to go ahead and actually draw a picture using two-point perspective. Now, your assignment for this lecture is to go ahead and create two-point perspective. So you can draw the same exact picture I drew right here, or if you want, you can go ahead and experiment and try placing the cubes in different areas, creating different sizes and shapes of cubes, and go ahead and create that in two-point perspective. Don't worry about making shapes like circles or triangles or anything right now, because that's a little bit more complicated, and we'll get into that later. For now, just practice creating cubes in two-point perspective. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next lecture.